listening to Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. It's the top of the hour, so it's time for the Bizz News Summary Update Recap Show. I'm Geoffrey Concentrated. Here's what's been making headlines this hour. National politics is in a state of emergency tonight, after every single member of the federal cabinet was killed following a freak accident in Parliament earlier today. It happened during the extraordinary session called in order to facilitate a full-scale debate and voting on environmental protection legislation, directly addressing a series of private members' bills which had been introduced to the House by the minor parties, all of which related to water and air pollution, deforestation, uranium dumping, coal seam gas fracking, and climate change. Tragedy struck when every member of the cabinet excused themselves from the chamber for the entire length of the debate, evoking the special procedural clause whereby they would stick their head into a bucket of sand rather than have to listen to and participate in the discussion and voting. Unfortunately, the session for those bills went for some 6 hours, far beyond the safe recommended sand submersion time, which meant that by the time all the votes had been tallied and the bills either passed or defeated, every single cabinet member had suffocated to death. Over these past few melancholic and solemn hours, the Speaker of the House has been in emergency talks with the Governor-General, parliamentary secretaries, and party presidents relating to the possible construction of an ad hoc replacement cabinet. Though at this point, we don't know when any official public statement will be issued. Parents are being warned about a new popular craze among teenagers, going viral across social media and spreading across the country, that's so dangerous that it's putting their children's lives at risk. It's called the Dance with Ants Challenge, wherein you stick bulldog ants into your pants and proceed to jump and dance around the place and try to not get bitten. You start by putting on a special pair of pants that has tight elastic around the cuffs, so that no loose objects can fall through to the ground. Underneath the pants, you are wearing nothing but your underwear briefs. You then proceed to drop 5 or 6 of these ants into your pants, and you need to jump around as wild and high as possible in order to keep the ants from biting you. The gold standard goal of this challenge is to do this for a full minute. In worst case scenarios, participants can end up with dozens of bite marks across their shins and calves, often needing to apply various ointments in order to ease the pain. Authorities are advising that parents talk to their teenage children as soon as possible in order to dissuade them from also trying the Dance with Ants challenge themselves. A small group of community activists are being praised for their generosity and thoughtfulness as they launch a new initiative for freeing up the city streets from all elitist wankers, self-righteous hipsters, and devil's advocate contrarians. They have tasked themselves with the job of patrolling up and down the streets, carrying large blankets which have been soaked in cold water. If they ever find someone who is needlessly causing a nuisance, trying to provoke an argument, or in general being stubborn or unpleasant in a snobbish sort of way, they will pull out one of these blankets and proceed to wrap the person up inside it. This will subdue the person for a few seconds, giving their victim enough time to walk away and thus escape from the unpleasant conversation they were having. The leader of the Security Blanket Scouts, Sandy Sanderson, said that she hoped that within 2 years the city would be completely purged from all annoying wankers and elitists. The Coroner-General has sought to urgently remind the public about the proper laws, procedures and application forms regarding the correct treatment, handling and disposal of corpses. If at all unaware of what these are, citizens should always immediately contact their local coroner, who can provide them with an information package and briefing. This statement has come following a series of cases of families keeping the deaths of their family members a secret, neither informing anyone or doing anything. This normally involves them locking the deceased's body into the attic, basement or wardrobe, and simply pretending the person is gone. Sometimes it might take months or years before this mistake is uncovered by authorities, by which time the corpse has decomposed to the point of having lost all its skin and muscle tissue. In her public statement, the Coroner General, Madeleine Oldfield, explained that behaviour like this would seem to suggest that the family had something to hide, by not otherwise informing the authorities about this immediately. The National Taxation and Revenue Office has issued preliminary auditory investigations into all bakeries across the country, from local shops to franchisees to national corporations. This has come following allegations, first published in the Morning Moon Register 3 weeks ago, of widespread fraudulent accounting practices, leading to suggestions that the entire industry might be awash with criminal financial dealings and secret accounting practices. The claims of accounting irregularities centers around the belief that bakers, when supplying their account records to the NTRO, will inflate their actual sales costs, on average adding an extra 1 to tallies for every genuine 12, which is a number small enough that a standard taxation review wouldn't be able to pick it up. Over the course of a year in a medium-sized company, this can result in the business underreporting hundreds or even thousands of dollars in taxes to be paid. The National Taxation and Review Office admits that it has long been aware of this 12+1 trick, but hasn't yet been able to create the accounting software powerful enough to identify it in real time. But it's hoped that this auditory investigation might give them the data needed to fully update their irregularity detection systems. And that's what's been making news this hour. The next edition of the Bizz News Summary Update Recap Show will be at the top of the next hour. You're listening to Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Geoffrey Concentrated. We'll now return you to your normal programming.